How's it going, gang? It's a final render here, and welcome to another video on Fallout 76. It's been about a week since E3 when we first saw some of the trailer footage of Fallout 76, and we actually found out that it is an online game, and a lot has changed since then. A lot more information has come out about the game, and a lot more of the kind of skeptics' questions have been answered. In fact, I did a poll on my YouTube channel asking, now that we know a bit more about the game and how it's going to be less griefy and less harsh, how many of you have changed your mind about it? And 74% of people, over 600 people voted, said that they have changed their mind and will be buying Fallout 76. So that's pretty good, actually. It actually makes me a little bit happier to know that it's not just going to be a huge backlash when I start uploading videos on this. And let's get going with this speculation video, and we are going to be looking at some of the weapons we can see in the trailer so we can be certain about what kind of weapons we'll be using to murder each other in Virginia in just a few months' time. So in this first shot here, we can see what appears to be the hunting rifle. This appears to be a return of the hunting rifle that we have seen in Fallout 4. Appears to have the long barrel and the full stock attachment on there. I absolutely love this gun. I'm really happy to see it back in Fallout 76. Here we get a nice shot of the Serrated fireman's axe. This is actually a new weapon in the game, and this thing looks extremely scary, to say the least. This is obviously a normal fire axe that has had some metal serrated edges bolted onto it. Originally, I thought that they had just kind of attacked the main blade with an angle grinder, but now looking at it, it looks like they have literally just bolted some serrated edges to the side of it. So now we have got the main axe blade itself, plus all of these serrations. This is obviously going to be a weapon customization that the player can use. You won't find them like this, I expect. And it's going to be one of the deadliest melee weapons that we're probably going to see in Fallout 76. Very scary, very cool, very Fallout. I really love this weapon. Can't wait to give it a try. Next up, we have a weapon that really caught a lot of people off guard. This is the German MG42. This is, of course, a World War II weapon, and it was a belt-fed light machine gun. Extremely deadly in World War II, was pretty accurate, had a very high rate of fire, and is a very iconic World War II weapon. And it's really cool to go ahead and see it in the Fallout universe. The timelines actually did change immediately after World War II, so everything that happened during and before World War II is the same as our history in the Fallout universe, and everything after World War II, in theory, could be different. So it's really cool to go ahead and see this weapon in here. I'm sure this is going to be a very deadly weapon. It will probably take down some of those giant monsters very, very quickly, I'm sure. In this shot, we can see quite a short but quite a fat, heavy weapon. Now, I'm not 100% certain what this is. It is either a junk jet, or it's a new weapon that we can see in a bit more detail later on in the video. And if it is a junk jet, then that's very cool. It definitely has a lot of the same kind of profile shape of the junk jet. Very cool weapon. Very happy to see it in Fallout 76 if it is the junk jet. As I said, it might be something that we see in a bit of better detail later on. In this part of the trailer, we don't see, but we definitely hear the missile launcher. The missile launcher is back from Fallout 4. We can't be certain what kind of variation of missile launcher this is, but I suspect since it's only one rocket being fired at a time, that this is just the stock missile launcher. Great to see this back in Fallout 76. Next up, we have a very cool weapon. This is something which really took me by surprise when I was watching the original trailer at E3, and this is a Percussion Cap Pistol. A lot of people, myself included, originally called this a flintlock pistol. However, this is actually a Percussion Cap Pistol. They're a bit later in technology than the flintlocks. They're also a bit more reliable to fire. However, they do actually require three things to fire a Percussion Cap Pistol. You need a lead ball, gunpowder, and a percussion cap, whereas a flintlock would just need a lead ball and some black powder. So I'm curious to know, will they make us find three components in order to go ahead and make ammunition for this? Or do we say just find lead ball and black powder? I'm very curious to know how this is. But it is a very slow weapon, as you'd expect. You've got to kind of ram the bullet down with a little built-on ramrod, and it will do a lot of damage. As we can see, it does a huge amount of damage to this opponent right here. But since it's so slow to fire and probably very inaccurate, it's probably something you don't want to use in PvP. You probably want to go ahead and use this on the giant boss battles, where you can kind of have a greater chance of hitting the enemy. But if you really need to use it in PvP, it's probably going to be very deadly. So very cool to go ahead and see this in the game. Definitely fits with the kind of classic old American history style that this game has got, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of it. Maybe we'll get muskets and stuff as well, who knows? Next up, we can see a little glimpse of the laser rifle. The laser rifle returns. I love the laser rifle in Fallout 4. It is definitely one of my favorite weapons in that game. And this could also kind of confirm that the laser pistol is probably in the game as well, since the laser rifle is just an upgraded laser pistol. In this shot here, we can see the laser rifle, as we have already seen, and we can also see two weapons we haven't seen in the trailers yet. We have seen what looks like a submachine gun. We get a better look at this later on in the trailer, but it appears to be kind of a burst fire submachine gun. Looks very similar to the Bison, but I have no idea if it's based on a real weapon or not. And on the right, we can see the return of the Fallout 4 assault rifle. I didn't like the assault rifle in Fallout 4. Not only were the sights a bit clumsy and the gun was a bit slow, but also it just looked a bit goofy. You know, we know from games like New Vegas and stuff like that there are AR-15s in this Fallout universe, yet for some reason we have got this weird Vickers gun thing. It looks kind of different and cool in a way, but it just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, I'd rather just have kind of a regular, like say, AR-15 design for an assault rifle, but we can confirm that the Fallout 4 assault rifle is back, and we do get a better look at it later, of course. This is the submachine gun I was talking about here. I suspect that it is indeed a submachine gun, looking at the kind of size of it, and it appears to only fire in bursts. I'm not too sure how deadly this thing is going to be. I suspect it'll be very low recoil, but also not very long range and stuff like that, since it looks like a submachine gun. No idea if this is based on a real world weapon of some kind. As I said, it might be kind of similar to like a Bison or something like that. But I have no idea. I've never seen any pictures of anything quite like this before, so this might be a new made-up gun for the Fallout lore. I'm not too sure. Next up, we have got the return of the double-barreled shotgun. I loved the double-barreled shotgun in Fallout 4. It was great fun to use. Probably one of the deadliest close-up weapons in the game. Just run up to them, give them both barrels straight away, and then run out of there so you can reload and finish off his friends by charging in again. Great fun to use the double-barreled shotgun. Very happy it's back in Fallout 76. In this shot, we can see what looks like something similar to the Deathclaw Gauntlet being used by this mole man creature thing. Very, very bizarre to see like a mole man. But hey, they appear to be in a mine, so maybe we have also got mole man creatures digging away, digging tunnels in the mines. I don't really know, but maybe if we can go ahead and equip that, that would be very cool. Looks very similar to the Deathclaw Gauntlet. If so, in this shot of a PvE attack on a base, we can see we have got what looks like a pipe pistol. The pipe pistols and pipe rifles, presumably as well, are returning in the game. Hopefully they got a little bit of a buff, because whilst I understand they were meant to be very weak weapons, they were a little too weak. They were so weak it was almost not worth bothering with them. So it'd be nice to see a little buff. And also something I'm noticing is that a lot of the weapons do appear to have retextures as well. So like the pipe weapons have got retextures. We see a little pipe revolver later on that's also got a retexture, just to kind of make it look a bit more new and less rusted, which would make sense, of course. In this shot here, where we see some of our heroes fighting some of the Chinese army robots, which were kind of speculated to be in the game, but this kind of confirms it as well, we can see the pipe revolver being used. And as you can see here, the textures, as I said, are newer, which I think is a nice little touch, because obviously in Fallout 4, they were just pure brown, basically. They'd completely rusted. But this is obviously 25 years after the war, whereas Fallout 4 was 220, so therefore the same scrap, but it's obviously much older in Fallout 4. And here we can kind of see we've got some of the same customizations. We've got what looks like a silencer. We have got a little scope on there as well, along with the stock. If I remember correctly, this was a very powerful pipe weapon. But of course, it was still a pipe weapon, so there were better weapons out there. But it's good to go ahead and see it back in this game as well. This shot here gives us a closer look at the combat shotgun along with the pipe pistol. So we can definitely confirm that the pipe pistol is in the game as well. But we have also got the 44 Magnum right on the right there. It's either a 44 Magnum or a flare gun, but I strongly suspect that this is a 44 Magnum. Very cool to go ahead and see that in the game. Everyone loves a 44, very powerful pistol. This shot here is one of the coolest I think we have seen so far in Fallout 76. We've got all the power armors next to each other, and we have got the MG42 on the left. Very cool, we've already seen that. Next to that, we have got the Gauss rifle. The Gauss rifle is making a return in this game. Very good, very powerful late game weapon in Fallout 4. And next to that, we have got some kind of new weapon. I suspect this is the same weapon that we saw earlier on when we saw the guy staring up at the Scorch Beast. I think that's the same weapon. Not too sure what it is. And then next to that, of course, we have got the M2 Browning machine gun, the Deuce, typically seen on top of trucks and on top of tanks and stuff like that. Very powerful, very accurate, very reliable 50 caliber heavy machine gun right there. Very cool weapon to go ahead and see in the game. Looking forward to going ahead and using that. Now this is the closest look we have got at this new kind of mythical heavy weapon of some kind. And looking at it this close, it appears to be a Gatling gun. These are the very, very old kind of hand-cranked machine guns, and you can see it's got that long, straight magazine poking in at the top. These were very popular kind of just around like the 1800s or so, and it was a way to get fully automatic fire by just manually rotating a barrel. So I'm very glad to see this. You often see it in things like Western movies and stuff like that. And I think it's a really cool thing. You know, not only have we got things like the Percussion Cap Pistol, but we have also got this Gatling gun now. So I'm very happy we're able to look at the footage very closely and actually work out what this thing is. So very cool new heavy weapon right there, the Gatling gun. As another interesting little note in this, we can see some of the feral ghouls, which aren't quite as feral as the ones we see in the normal Fallout games, but these ones appear to still be able to use weapons. We see one with a pitchfork, and we can also see one here with a hatchet. So could that potentially mean we, the players ourselves, can also use things like pitchforks and hatchets as an extra set of melee weapons to go ahead and use? It would be pretty cool to go ahead and get something like a tomahawk or something that we can throw at someone. That would be really, really sweet indeed. So there we go. We've kind of analysed some of the footage we have got, and we've worked out what kind of weapons we are going to see in the game. We've got a good mix of some new ones and also some older ones, and it wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot more guns in the game. Say if we go ahead and just throw every gun in Fallout 4 in there if you want to. I really don't mind. More guns the better. And I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on Fallout 76 and testing out some of these weapons. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. It's been a good one to go ahead and make this one. I've learned some stuff myself while just going around and editing this video. So remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Remember to subscribe if you are new and you enjoyed the content. And remember to check out all the cool Patreon people in the description below who help support the channel with their financial donations. And I've been the final render and you've been the audience. So until next time, farewell.